Hello, Markus. We're here, and we would like to know more about you, so you can tell us your stories, how your awakening process went. Can you tell us, like, where do you live?
Of course, I can tell you everything. There's no secret. Everybody knows it. Who is mainly joining a retreat, because more or less I'm moving retreat to a retreat, and because I have no home. I'm a world traveler and a world citizen, so from one place to another place. But tell you about my enlightenment. What is that? What should that mean? There's no enlightenment. It's what you're thinking of awakening or whatever is. Let's clarify this first. You are. Your consciousness is perfect consciousness. It's not that you have to grow your consciousness with something what you think you have to grow with your ego. Only liberate the consciousness you already are, and that means your true being. You have to liberate your true being, and that's only possible when you are step by side as your ego person, and then everything else comes by its own, because your soul knows the best future for you. So you can't know the perfect thing for you. Only the consciousness you are knows the perfect future for you, and the perfect what actually the true consciousness wants to play on the playground here. But you as illusion, as a robot, only play something what others were telling you. So you don't play. So step by side, and that's actually enlightenment or awakening is when you live as a true being. Of course, there's still sometimes ego in between, but the intention of life should be the intention of your soul, not the intention of your ego. That you have to observe constantly.
So, would
So
you say
about
that
my
when you
life, I'm not finished. This was only a small parenthesis in
yes,
the parenthesis. So I'm right now in Spain doing a retreat for 8 days, but then I will follow up also a retreat for 2 months. But it's not simply a retreat like everybody means. Let's do 2 month fasting. No, the further retreats are actually with the intention of serving humanity, with no attachments, with nothing and else, only to serve humanity. That's actually the idea of the retreats of 2 months. Most of the people go into the retreat of 2 months and think, well, let's do something with the ego, with some goals of something else. But that actually I'm doing right now. I'm now in Spain. Later on, I will do even a retreat in English in Canada, in bad causes, the Prince Edward Islands. It's summertime, so it will be in 1 month. I will start 25th of July. That's actually my world right now, sharing and sharing my experience, inviting everybody else to make their own experience and so on.
okay. So people can know more about you. Um, do you consume something? Do you
Yeah, so step
eat?
by step. So people can always contact me by my webpage. You see what is the retreat about and everything else, even also the agenda, where will be, and also where are the retreats, in which language they are. Okay, and then right now with food and my life, how I was going there,
Mm-hmm.
because that most people want to also to know, to go to the actual state how I live right now. So everything started more or less more than 2000. Now we have more or 15 years ago, when I was also listened to an interview of someone who made the 21 or 20 first 21 process of Yasmurin. Then I have done it as well, but then I experienced, oh, food is a little bit more than only a process. By process, I can't turn off or turn on addiction. That would be nice for everybody who is addicted. So addiction is a deeper process. I had to find out that food is much more. It's not only uh, what you think that's nutrition. It's only deeper. It's something emotionally, and also that your body get used to it. It means get used to a drug. Or actually, when the process comes of detoxing, then you feel like in starvation or whatever, or something weak. That I had to discover by my own, because there was no, or there's still no clearance in everybody. Everybody makes some experience with dry fasting. But actually, you have to understand the natural state of your body is not eating to get in this clearance. But everybody tells you, no, your animals eat. Yeah, when you like to be an animal, be an animal. But we have a higher consciousness. Our consciousness is different than the consciousness of an animal. We can decide, we can say no. An animal can't say no, I will stop eating. It's impossible. So you have a higher consciousness. So to discover everything that we're talking about, the myth of nutrition, we're talking about addiction, and everything that came step by step, because there's no clear guidance out there. So also I wrote a book about my experience about everything like this. So by retreats, by observation myself, the last 15 years. So it started a little bit deeper the last, would say, um, uh, 8 to 9 years that I started to do more retreats and to observe myself in a retreat, observe others, and then I discovered, oh, this is much deeper. This is not only a believing, a belief pattern that now you believe you need food, and then the next step, I believe I do not need food. I want to be free. I want to be free of my ego, because who is believing is the ego. So these were steps by steps to discover where everything, how this matrix and how the game is actually working, because there's no clear manual, and nobody wants that you know how this platform of game is working. So step by step, I expanded my retreats. I was going deeper, and now the step is to prepare humanity, making not only retreats. Then everybody makes an ego experience that has for me no future. We have to go into less dependency of the system. So humanity has to independence themselves from food, money, and also for searching for love, because these three points leads you actually to not peace. Because when you are searching for food, searching for love, or searching for money, then you are not in peace. And that's also reflected outside in the world. So it's very important that we are free ourselves and humanity from dependencies. That's actually my intention, or the intention of my soul or my consciousness, because Markus actually has no intention here, no win, no goal, no nothing, but it drives me in one direction. So that's actually now the latest, and then now my state actually state. So from time to time, I'm enjoying something, taste maybe, but it's very rare time. So normally it's every 10 days or every 15 days. Lately, during long-term retreats, I do nothing at all, even dry fasting, because I'm feeling good. I'm feeling happy with dependency. Because when you taste something, then you have to ask yourself, actually, it was only a memory. I only wanted to memorize again this taste, but in the end, I have to ask myself, it was necessary to taste it again or to try it again? No, of course not. But of course, we are still here in a game. Uh, when you have no attachments, that's the big step, is not have attachments. So when you from time to time play something with your eyes, watching a sunset or whatever, or when you touch, for example, um, a flower or smell a flower or feel some mousse, that's something nice that you can repeat without attachment. This is the point. But when you desire it constantly, then you can fall into the trap of addiction again. That's very important to observe. So I'm always in observing that I do not fall again into the trap. And then I say, no, 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 no. I'm fine physically, and I feel always better when there is nothing, when there's no food at all. Then I'm in the complete perfect state. Then you ask me for sure, and then why you eat something? Or what? That's the memory. So time comes the temptation or the sensation. I'd like to try again this taste. Okay.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yes. I want you also to share my experience. Like when I'm fasting,
Sorry.
if I feel like not like insecure, I then I feel like my energy drains. But when I still being more grateful, thank you for this process. I'm with a high vibration. I'm so happy that I'm doing this process. Then I get full of energy and I trust. So it's very important to trust as well and the process.
Yeah, of course, when you process, I would say when you do the first steps, the first step is intermediate fasting, and then you can do maybe a little bit more fasting. Then maybe you join 8 day fasting. Then you understand how's your body working and what's actually happening. And of course, the most important part is to understand your emotions, your lies, so your personal lies. But of course, when I right now doing a fast. Start fasting. You can try it right now with yourself. You go into fast, and then comes some certain state of uncomfortness. That means the body starts to detoxing, and then you start thinking, "Oh, my body wants something. Maybe I can try it." And then you start fighting against yourself. And when you're fighting against it, you are losing. But when you go into the state, like you said, okay, my body is healing itself, it's cleaning itself, it's detoxing. Oh, thank you that you detox by your own without any further force or anything else. You do it by its own. So the body is clearing it, doing it by its own. So with gratefulness and with certain happiness that I'm getting now healthier and healthier and healthier, then it's much easier.
And what would you say, for example, some people who have diabetic and say, no, I need to measure my sugar. If it goes too low, I can die. What would you say to these
Yeah,
people?
well, late when the last time we were slowly or we were slightly touching illness, but illness is always intox. So even if you in a state of diabetes, what does actually mean? We should actually think. You need, for example, your insulin because you're eating. So actually, diabetes is an invitation of doing a diet or a fasting. That's actually what actually happened. When you do not eat, you do not need any insulin. I had 2 or 3 um,
Yeah, but I look after people.
participants. There were 2 or 3 participants. They had actually diagnosed insulin. They were taking to every second day or even daily their doses. But during the retreat, they reduced it, and then at least in the last days they were stopping using it because there was no, even with the measurement, they were saying, "Oh, you're okay." And that's it, because you need insulin because of eating, not of fasting. And then most people get confused of it. And you have to understand, yeah, okay, why I'm eating. I'm eating mainly sweet stuff. And sweet is maybe mainly searching for love from mom. the feminine part. You're searching for it. So you have to understand that illness and everything, all the whole package is mainly something mentally. And you have to understand what drives you into the food. That's very important. Otherwise, the food controls you, and then you need some insulin or whatever.
Okay, yes, that's very, very important what you point out. And many people end up looking for things outside, and they need also to realize everything is inside us. Do you see like that?
Yeah, but so for me, it's much easier to observe in the retreat. So when you clear your body, then also comes much clearance in the mind, and then you see much clearer your anxiety, because mainly you eat because of anxiety, and anxiety comes when you do or live a life that's not yours. So everything is actually emotionally connected. You live, and everything starts actually there, that you search for love, and then you live a life that you don't like because you search for love, and then you accept the life of your parents to be obedient, working, and everything else, and that leads then to more food and to more. Then it's you're trapped in this vicious circle.
And you often advise people to do nothing. Now, can you explain how do nothing works?
It's very easy. Doing nothing is very easy. But also, there's a nice phrase: by doing nothing, everything is done. And doing or not doing, or doing nothing means actually it's also a little bit wrong. By doing nothing, it's you're doing something. But actually, it's stop doing. It's actually you the drive to do something comes actually by a program that you have to do something and to reach something. You want always a goal. I search for my money. You search for food. So you search for love. Everything what drives you in this illusory world mainly comes from searching for love and for something that drives you by your ego. You want something. When you do something, you want something. It's not that you do something for love, no. Or you do it for love because you want love, but not in a state of love that you do not expect nothing. So, what I'm talking, doing nothing means doing without expectations. What do you say it?
Self
It's
doing.
unconditional doing with no
Mm-hmm.
condition. But normally you do a conditional love. So what you apply is a condition. I do this for my children. The condition is this is are my children. This is the condition. Or this is my loved ones, or this is my lover, or whatever. Then I will do it for him, but I won't do it for everybody else. So this is the condition. So it's a conditional love. It's a conditional action. And I'm talking about not doing nothing. It's doing without any conditions. True love. And what you have to do, you do not have to take care of it. What you have to do, it comes to you. And that's the difficult part because you are so programmed to do and to expect something. And therefore, a lot of people fighting. Oh, when I do nothing, what they will say to me that I'm a burglar or whatever. I'm a what if a lumber or whatever, a pure man or whatever. They will always judge me, and then because you judge you, because your family or your parents mainly teach you to produce, to do something. So when you stop doing, then you're in a certain conflict. But I'm talking, but not doing means no action by your ego.
Okay. And can you tell us about tribes? Why do you think they're more advanced?
About what? Who?
Tribes, living in community.
Tribes, a tribal life. Oh, that's the next step that I more or less mentioned, because the 2 months retreats actually are designed to prepare yourself to be in a tribe, but serve others to to a different type of lifestyle, because we live in a artificial world. Also, food is artificial, everything is artificial, always technology, everything drives you in a state of dependency. Now you're depending on a cell phone, you're depending on Wi-Fi, you're depending on a work. Everything is dependency. And that's when you depend, then you depend on the one who provides you. That means you're a drug dealer. Because when you are depending on something, you are addicted to something. You're depending on something. And then that's no freedom. So yeah, we have to free ourselves, and the only way I can see it is to live in a community. It's a tribe life, but a community, not what I have seen till now, because this community is mainly is were driven by the ego. So these retreats are a preparation of dissolving or um, disappearing of the ego. So that's actually living only souls, pure consciousness in a tribe. That's actually human life. We are designed to live in a tribal, in a community, but not community of dependencies. For example, a tribe should be always nomads. That means no possession, nothing. Only the stuff what they have, that's the only possession, nothing more, not properties or something else, because that's attach you again with something and then puts you again in slavery.
Yeah, so many people are so attached. Like in China, they're starting to put in chips in their bodies, and if you don't do that, you cannot work. And then people start panicking. Oh, if I don't work, I cannot pay my rent, or this and that. So, what will you say to these people?
What I would say to these people was, if you prefer, that's normal. You have to understand. The humanity was corrupted by a free drug. The free drug is nowadays cell phone, internet, or wherever. It means access to a wide range of network that you get entertained, mainly entertained, um, and can communicate. And then now they say, oh, if you want this again, then you have to fulfill certain rules or standards. And when you do not fulfill it, then you don't get it. That it's like any other drug dealer. Who, first moment they spread out the drug for free, and when you are addicted to it, then say, okay, now you have to pay for it. And to pay means your liberty. That's very easy. So you have to get free from it. Therefore, we do actual DC retreats that you live on minimum, by food minimum, no money needed, uh, but that you only focus on your emotions, that you dissolve your emotions, your dependency, your attachments, that you
Mhm.
prepare in the future humanity.
Okay, it's a bit of surrender of all these dependencies, and let's trust the process and let things work on its own.
Actually, everything let it go. So I had to learn as well certain control, because normally you always with ideas in your head, and then you want to control it that it fulfills this and this is standard. In the end, when you do nothing, then everything is done. Nothing else, and then your consciousness drives you and guides you perfectly through life. That's actually should be the first step for everybody to learn. Do nothing.
Okay.
I can see we are right now by almost 25 minutes. So maybe we also cut here that
Mm-hmm.
the video is not too long. And
Okay.
maybe in another moment we got deeper in certain issues, certain um, topics that maybe people are interested in. Okay, then
Thank you, Marcus,
enjoy.
very much.
Thank you for the invitation and for the nice talk. And I hope we see us soon. Bye
Yes,
bye.
goodbye.